So what we'll do to start off with is we'll have our top, we'll have our body. First thing that we're gonna do is when we take our top, make sure it's highlighted in orange. We'll press tab. When we're in tab, we're making sure that our first object is gonna be all orange. Easy way to make sure is to just press A. If it's not orange and it looks like this, all you have to do is press A. And we'll hit tab again, go to our body, and we'll press tab. For tab, and we press tab, we're in edit mode, and we're making sure that it's not selected. So we can click over here in the gray, or we can double tap A. So if you double tap A, it'll all unselect. My computer's lagging, so I can't do it, unfortunately. So we'll just click over here in the gray. You can press tab again, and you'll go back to your object mode. You can click on your mesh, whatever it is. Shift click on your body. So make sure that this is highlighted in red. Make sure that this is highlighted in orange. All you have to do is press Control J and press tab. Once you do that, you're going to hit P and then click selection. What that does is it means anything highlighted in orange is going to be separated from the main mesh. Then you can just go back to your normal object mode by pressing tab again. And over here in your hierarchy, you can double click and rename it. And for this case, mine would be dress. Any extra armature that you have that you don't need, you can also just delete because you don't need it. After that, we're going to go into the weight painting part where we just have to completely weight paint it. We're going to do it the easy way. There's two different ways, but we're going to do it this way because I like doing it. So we'll click on the body, make sure it's highlighted in orange, and we'll shift click on the dress or whatever it is. We'll go up here from object mode to weight paint mode. We'll click on weights in the top left corner and click on transfer weights. Traditionally, whenever you do that, it'll spawn like this. You'll come down here and click transfer mesh data, go to active layer and change it to bind name. After that, that's all you have to do, and you can go back to object mode. When you finish that, you can go over here, show your bones, click on your bones and shift click on your dress. Go from object mode to weight paint mode again, and every single bone in here that is related or anywhere close to the mesh, you just control click on, and it'll look like this. Depending on where it is and what it is, it'll have different weight paintings and different weights, I guess you could say. So we'll start here. Because all of this looks really jagged, looks really crazy, what we can do is we can use our blur tool over here. And we can click and drag across it all and make it all smoothed out. I usually leave my radius at about 150. Strength you never really have to touch, but you kind of just are going to go over it repetitive. So you'll click and drag a bunch. And you'll go over it pretty quickly. It doesn't take too long once you get the hang of doing it to really just kind of cut through a lot of it. I'll do this lower body part just real quick so we can do the kind of like the final step of weight painting. Because there's not too much left on here, but you just have to do like a few bones so we can make a joint bend and show you how to do it. So now that it's all smoothed out, we went through, smoothed it all out. You can come over here and we can click stop pose mode and then click start pose mode. And we'll click on a bone and drag it up. So it doesn't really seem, there's a little bit here and there. You can see the panty line poke through. You see it kind of clip here, not too much. Sometimes you don't have to do much to it, but in this case, you know, our panty line clips through, we don't want that. So what we can do is we can leave it here, right? We'll come up here to pose mode and click object mode. Whenever you usually do that, it sticks the pose mode so you don't have to change it and it doesn't go back to its normal T-pose. And we'll just have to select the bones and shift click on the dress. Go from object mode to weight paint mode. And because it's clipping, so how I like to see it is if it's clipping away from this bone, what we'll do is we'll control click on this bone and we'll go through here, right? So we'll go to our draw tool. Normally it's going to be set to draw. We'll click on subtract. This is where you'll change it with the little ball. And then you'll set your weight to 0.01. Again, you can leave your radius on 150. Almost everything you do, you don't normally have to change it from 150. but we'll leave it at subtract 0.01. And we'll do the same thing we did with our blur tool. And we'll kind of just go over the areas that we really need to just make hide again. Sometimes you'll create more clipping with that, but that's okay because so if I'm creating clipping by erasing stuff on this bone, we can click on the other one, which in this case is the hip, and we can come through and do the exact same thing, just in the opposite direction, really. Like I said, it's okay if you cause random clipping. It's no real big deal. It's just more about like trying to pull some of that clipping away. There's a little bit more here. We'll do the same thing. Again, there's no real problem if you cause more clipping, just as long as you're trying to clean it up a little by little. And eventually you'll get to a point where there's just none. You won't really see anything poking through. And at that point, you're pretty much just done. There's nothing else really left to do.